Ready? Alright, call on the Richmond-Tippin Village School District Board of Education meeting back in a regular session. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. So it is recommended the Board of Education approve the agenda as presented.
Also move.
I second.
Alright, roll call.
All right, Mr. Default?
Yes.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes. Alright, superintendent's report.
All right, so customary at every meeting, I'd love to give you a few updates of things that are happening around the district and highlight some of the important happenings. So first of all, as you know, we shot the school district out of a cannon for our staff. It really does happen quickly, from getting into setting up their room to open house to our kids being here. I would really like to thank and send appreciation to our parents, guardians, grandparents, and families. Our open houses were extremely well attended throughout the district. I had the opportunity to visit all 4 of them, from seeing all of the 6th grade families in the auditorium, and there were more of them in the auditorium than there were us for convocation, to experiencing my first Monroe open house where the families line up all the way past the kindergarten wing, and they stream in to at Locust Corner, where Mr. Roach does a great job of doing sort of like an activities fair down the main hallway, and then attending the scheduled pickup. So again, really appreciate our families and their commitment for attendance at open house. We also had our staggered start. We will bring in our last group of students tomorrow, our preschoolers. So kindergarten started today. I got an opportunity to visit Mrs. Bach and Miss Hickey's room. I peeked in, they were doing some reading and some carpet time, and then at Monroe with Miss Anderson, Miss Hill, Miss Hulsman, and Miss Metzger this afternoon, really just laying foundations and routines and rituals. And then, you know, we've been around the district, and we is the key word. Myself, Dr. Hollinsworth, Mr. Fry, Mr. Wolf have been all of the buildings multiple times, and our commitment to being visible and their commitment to making sure that all the materials and equipment were here prior to the first day of school, so teachers weren't looking for anything. And that is because of their hard work over the summer. And I visited the bus garage twice. Once at the request to talk to the bus drivers about cell phones. They, you know, would love to have cell phones, some of them not used on the bus, and others have different opinions. But I did remind them, whether they are used or not, that our students need to abide by the code of conduct and use them appropriately. So, and again, to our 40 staff that are either new or in new positions, we've intentionally checked on them, and it certainly feels on day 3 like we've been here a month, and that is the commitment to the great people that we have. For transportation updates, obviously the most important thing that we can share is that our buses passed all of their inspections. So our team out at the bus garage is maintaining the fleet. This year we did bring on 1 new large capacity bus, that's bus 29. Mostly will be used internally for field trips. That's Luke's philosophy of breaking in a bus. And then the upcoming communication campaign, the bus drivers asked for us, Garth and I will work on this, to really talk to our students and families about the importance of not using a cell phone or having earbuds in at the bus stop. And that is because when they wave children onto the bus, or making sure it's safe for them to cross the road, that is more so that they can hear the driver in case of emergency. The driver is there for their safety. And as you know, it's the start of school and people aren't used to seeing our buses, to make sure they stop for a school bus. And then, we do have a great My Ride K-12 app. Tonight you will be asked to approve our bus routes. Those do change over the year, that is normal. But the best place for our parents and guardians to be in tune to bus stops, bus times, is to download our My Ride K-12 app. So I just really wanted to shout out our transportation. Garth, our comms director, will have an update on rooms in a little bit. We are working on both internal communication and external communication to launch around Labor Day. We do want to highlight that for our families and our students, they will feel a different type of communication. We are following Senate Bill 29. That's the apps that sell information, as well as the Parents' Bill of Rights. And so we will be moving away from lots of forms of apps that we communicate with, to being specific to rooms, which Garth will talk about. Here's an example. from a teacher in the media arts, Shelby Cockerham. This is how she's using it with her students. You can see welcome to media arts, important information, and then you can attach a document there and you can see how many students, families actually used it. So we'll be using rooms. That is really important to us. Google Classroom, which we have open and available. Obviously, our staff and families and students can use their district-provided email. Schoology for those that still use it, and then Final Forms. It is the safest way, and it does allow for accountability for everyone. Students, staff, the district personnel, and it's a protection. We can see what is happening and be able to get that out to our families. In the employee engagement, we have to keep our amazing staff. So we did complete an exit interview process. We'll be launching those results with the staff anytime that we collect data on behalf of how to grow the district. We do share those results out. I did share that at convocation, but they will be coming out just before Labor Day. Monthly superintendent staff meetings will start in September. Some of those are actually scheduled at Locust Corner and Monroe for the entire year, firming up the middle school and high school. And then today, Garth launched the staff showcases, and here's one example here from Stephanie Dombrowski. So it's a little bit about her and what she teaches, kind of fun facts, favorite food, dream vacation, best part of her job, of course supporting her students, and then random fun fact where she's been skydiving twice, and she's a certified scuba diver. We will be doing this for all of our staff, no matter their classification. So we are excited to showcase the people that we have, all 300 of them across the year. And then finally, a shout out to our hardworking board. We did have a board work session on Saturday with the Ohio School Board Association. Our discussions for the public centered around, auditor of state guidance on campaigning, developing board goals, laying the groundwork for a strategic plan that will involve all facets of our community, and how to best communicate our story. I believe that we have the very best and brightest, and it's our job to communicate what makes us different and what makes us better. And we ended with a tour of the newly renovated high school space. And here are two pictures for the general public. One is the new office that was part of the Appalachian Community Grant, and this is our district nurse health center inside the main office, Jennifer Cumberland. So those are updates from around the district.
All right, thank you. All right, now we're up to public participation. Mr. Powers, you want to come up and address the board?
Am I allowed to approach you guys?
Sure. Yeah.
Hand one of these to each one of you.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, this POWMIA Chair of Honor, we've already gotten a grant for this. It won't cost the school anything. All I need is your permission if you so choose. Most of you know me as the Color Guard Commander. I do all of the funerals and honor all the services of the military, but this is a way to honor those that still haven't made it home. And I had Ellie get with Trey before this. He's kind of right now, he's tentatively picking a date in September as Veterans Night. I don't think I can have the chair in by then, but he doesn't have that as his set date. If he had a date in October, I could definitely have it in by then, and then we could unveil it that night. But like I said, we've already gotten the grant for it. It won't cost the school anything. All it's going to be is putting the stadium up there with a nice plaque put behind it, like this one here that's on that front cover. We basically would have to just choose the location where we would put it. I think probably right there at that first one at the bottom, because this is a seat no one can ever sit in. And then the plaque just tells the history of the prisoners of war and the missing in action. So, only thing I would need from the school board is basically a copy of the minutes where you guys passed it, so that I can send it on to this hussy seating, and we'll take care of the rest. Rick Mayhem was supposed to come to last month's meeting and do this. He did not, as you can tell. and, or it would be already up there, probably. But, we all know Rick. So, that's all I got, guys. I know you don't do any voting in this session, so if you do it, just one of you let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
So you will look into this?
I will,
Yeah.
yes, we will make sure this comes forward either at the September work session or September board meeting.
Thank you. All right, first, what is that, first readings?
This is a first reading of a rescission policy. So when we're saying rescission, it means we're gonna take it out of the manual. We do have an alternate meal policy here in the district, and we do not abide by it. And we don't abide by it because from Brenda to the feelings of the organization is you're already struggling financially. The last thing we should do is give you an alternate meal that makes you stick out a little more.
Great.
So we do need to read this twice, but it doesn't change two facts. As if you have a negative balance and you walk up and you want to buy something for $1, we do not allow you to do that. And second, we do not take that dollar from you and then put it towards your negative balance. But you do come up, we do allow you to go negative. They work really hard to call families, to communicate, guardians, parents, when a child goes negative. We work really hard to bring them back into the positive. And at the end of the year, maybe Matt could just talk a little bit about, we cover by law whatever negative balance is, the general fund covers. So we're not following this policy, and Brenda felt it best to remove it. So it will be brought to you forward tonight as informational, and then next month to be voted on to be taken out of the policy manual.
To be fair, Brenda's been covering, Missouri's been covering the negative amounts, but the general fund is not. So if we do need to cover that, we're gonna ask the board to do it, you guys are not gonna ask to do that.
And that's part of what that enterprise account where she can generate some.
She certainly, she runs the black and has the money there to cover that.
These are below number 7. These are the second reading of all the policies that we brought forward last month. And these will then be placed in the policy manual. These have lots to do with the last legislative session. So we worked on them during the work session, no questions this month. But these are second reading, and the public has had these for 30 days to look and read and bring forward any suggestions or concerns that they have. A lot of these are grounded in Ohio Revised Code and Ohio Administrative Code. They are things that we must do that we're not given much leeway on. Okay.
All right, upon second reading, it is recommended the Board of Education adopt said policies.
So moved.
Okay, Todd was first, Ken was second. Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
All right, Mr. Default? Yes. Ms. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes. Yes.
All right, human resource items.
Okay, this evening we have for you 2 resignations. Brittany Neal, who's a bus driver, effective August 5th, 2025, and Mike Green, middle school football coach, effective June 29th of 2025. Item B, we have for you a rescission of a certified contract. This does not mean that we don't value the employee. The employee will actually be in another line, but you must have an appropriate certification to teach in the state of Ohio. And at this time, he was not able to get that specific certificate. He still went to school and is in his correct certified area. We will be asking the board to consider the employment of 2 long-term substitute teachers, Tyler Klein, effective the first day of school, and Samuel Nunless, effective the first day of school. And you can actually see here that's the same name we just rescinded, coming back as a long-term sub. Both individuals do have the correct license to be able to teach under the long-term substitute classification. We do have a classified employee this evening for you to consider employment. This would be Don Baker, effective the first day of school, to help and support the transportation as a bus driver. This evening, we're recommending to the board to approve an unpaid leave of absence request for the following employee. John Altman, classified employee from October 12, 2025 through October 12, 2026. We do have the ability to compensate teachers outside of their contracted time. These 5 teachers here were instrumental in supporting the 14 new members of our teaching staff. They worked with us for $30 an hour for a maximum of 6 hours. That would be Chase Bright, Amy Carey, Tim Cook, Carla Corbin, and Hannah Blandingham. This need arose from the exit interviews where teachers wanted to be part of the process but not run the process. And certainly with all of the technology and important onboarding, they were able to sit and really bring the process to light while Steve Wolf and Dr. Hollinsworth ran the program and helped them get into our technology. We have 2 supplemental contracts this evening for you. We have Rick Mahan for middle school football. And then we have Sarah Swango out of Locust Corner, our music teacher for the yearbook. So those 2 are new in our supplemental contract recommendations. And then finally, it is our recommendation for you to approve a transition stipend for supporting athletics, Gabriel Kellum. It was a heroic summer, I will say, for both Mr. Newberry and Gabriel Kellum, just to kind of recalibrate after the loss of a pretty important employee, which is an athletic director. So in that transition, it has required some more work, so I would like for the board to approve the following stipend for supporting athletics. And that's all I have.
Okay. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve items 9A through 9H.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
All right, Mr. Zimmerman?
Yes.
Mr. Wooten?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Default?
Yes.
All right, Treasurer's report.
Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. Item A is the approval of the regular meeting minutes from July. Item B is the approval of the special meeting minutes, July 31st. Item C is approval of our financial reports. July is the first month of the new fiscal year. Not a whole lot to talk about there. So we can talk about big picture. Give our total what we expect on revenue and expenditures. So total revenue for the year will be $23,900,000 change. And if you would scroll down, Mr. Chapin, and our total expenditures for the year will be $27,558,000. So we're going to run a deficit this year right around $3.6 million. We're going to start off the year with around $9 million in our savings, our cash balance. So we'll have a little over $6 million in this fiscal year. We're scheduled in 2 more fiscal years to run out of that cash balance. These things are progressive. The earned income tax levy has been certified. It will be placed on the November ballot. It's been certified with the Board of Elections in Claremont County and also with the Ohio Department of Taxation. 1.25% earned income tax. It will generate around $5.2 million annually to the district, according to today's numbers. Make that a bit. That's what we're looking at right now. Item D is acceptance of donations, so we're always appreciative of our donations that come in. Item E is payment in lieu of transportation. These are payments that save us money versus being required by law to transport these students. We have that option. You have that option as a Board of Education to do that. And that is all I have for the treasurer.
Okay, it is recommended the Board of Education approve items 11, is that 9A through 9E? Is that right?
11A.
I think it's 9, isn't it?
It's 9.
It's 9.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, fine.
Okay, it was so I'll read it again. It is recommended the Board of Education approve items 9A through 9E.
Also move.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna reference a document that I thought was missing a line, but I reopened it and it appeared, I don't know what's going on there.
That's easy.
The outflow total was missing from my view, but I saw it up there, so, sorry. Go ahead, Todd.
Thank you. Mr. Pritchard, can you share with us and the community, we've talked about it in the past, but where can the community go to look at what we're spending now compared to what we were spending, say, 10 years ago? So when we have those questions in regards to, well, you need to cut, you know, and after our initial levy in 21, is there a place that they can see 5-year forecast to know that we're spending less now than we did 10 years ago? I just don't think the public's gonna believe us when you try to tell that. So where's a great place for them to go see this at?
Well, Mr. Wells, the Ohio Department of Education Workforce website displays 5-year forecasts, historical data. You can go back 10 years and look at those. You can do a comparison of last year, for example, 2014, for example. Pull all that data and look and see what total expenditures, total revenues, all the same categories are in the forecast each year in comparison to see what it look like. And we did, in fact, last year spend less in total expenditures than we did in 10 years prior to this year. So it's something that's pretty remarkable. It doesn't really happen very often. That can be validated on your website.
Thank you.
It's all public information.
Anything else?
Wrong question.
Okay, all right. Roll call.
Start, Mr. Full.
Yes.
Mrs. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes. All right, academic report, first reading.
Good evening. I have 2 items for first reading for tonight. Our first is our high school business and marketing semester-long course has been renamed and updated. Business in Sports and Entertainment is what it's going to be called now. It has 6 units. Sports marketing, a unit on branding, licensing, and sponsorship, a unit on promotion and event marketing, media technology and social media, ticket sales, ethics, and public relations, and learning about various marketing careers. So it's still a marketing course, but updated and more interesting for our students through the lens of sports and entertainment. The second item for first reading is our course descriptions for our construction pathway courses in coordination with Grant. The first course is the introductory course called Core and Sustainable Construction. It's open to our 8th and 9th graders. Second course with the descriptions is Principles of Woods Construction. It's open to students in 9th through 12th grade after they've taken that first course. And then the third course is Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing Systems, open to our 10th through 12th graders. You can reference all of the course descriptions, what's taught in those courses.
How many do we know? What numbers are looking like here?
The numbers in this introductory course are high. We have about 25 8th graders alone in it. So it's a really popular elective.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, cell phone policy revision.
Okay, so
Yours.
yeah, this is mine. So I want to actually start at the bottom there. That Ohio law requires each school district, community school, and STEM school to adopt a policy prohibiting cell phone use by students during the instructional day. So we will be bringing you an actual policy to place in the policy manual as soon as it's updated through our partner Neola by January 1, 2026. The Department of Education and Workforce defines an instructional day as any period of time in which a student is expected to be in attendance and includes not only formal instruction time but also supervised activities such as transitioning between classrooms and classes, recess, meal periods, and field trips. So in effect they're saying from the moment that tardy bell rings, you know, you've got 4 minutes to your first bell until dismissal, your phone is off and out of sight. So we needed to update the secondary handbook. So the current language is the number 8 that you see there, where students in grades 9 through 12 are permitted to use their cell phones during the lunch bell only. That clearly now, based on the guidance that we've been given and the interpretation, is no longer allowed by law. So that would be struck out. Students in grades 6 through 8 are not allowed to have their phones on them all day. That has been a past practice of many years. There is no change there. And they must be kept in their students assigned lockers during, and I scratch classes and learning bells because we're going to define it as an instructional day. So the new language in the secondary handbook that I'm proposing is that cell phones and electronic device policy, same name, students in grades 6 to 12 are not permitted to use their phones during the instructional day as defined by the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. In grades 9 through 12, students' cell phones and electronic devices should be off and out of sight. Students in grades 6 through 8 are not allowed to have their phones with them all day. They must be kept in the students' assigned lockers during the instructional day. This really is only a change for anybody that's in 10th or 11th or 12th grade. We do believe somebody might say, why do you treat 9th to 12th graders a little differently and allow you to have them? Well, because we have to give kids experiences in the school setting that will align with whatever their chosen life path is, college, career, military, or owning their own business. And we do have a lot of students who come and go at the high school for CCP and other just alternate schedules. So it makes more sense for them to be off and out of sight. So I am proposing this evening language that aligns directly with the guidance from the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. I will say, if we're not answering the phone through traditional methods when parents are trying to get a hold of their children, please let us know if we need to do a little better. But also, while we would frown upon it frequently, emailing your child, our email system, is okay too. You know, in case of an emergency, they need to do something, or maybe go somewhere that when the bell rings, they may not have enough time to look at their phone to go to the right place. You have the avenue of an email. So call the school. We'll deliver the messages always, and or email. And again, in any type of safety situation, we really train our adults to level set and decide what's best. So following the instructions of the adult to either leave the building or to shelter in place, you know, but if you have some concerns about that, you know, please reach out to our office and we can walk you through that.
Okay, it is recommended the Board of Education approve the following revision to the secondary handbook for the 25-26 school year.
Also moved.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, go ahead.
Mr. DePaul?
Yes.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
All right, bus route approval.
Item 12, each year between the 30 days prior to school or 10 days after school, we are required to bring to you the bus routes that we have established for the beginning of the school year. Your approval does not mean that we can't adjust them to meet the needs of our students and families, but we are required each year to bring these forward. And I will again reiterate that it's important for our families as we adjust routes to be looking for that on the My Ride app.
It is recommended the Board of Education approve the following bus routes for the 25-26 school year.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, roll call.
All right, Mr. Zimmer?
Yes.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. DePaul?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
All right, foreign exchange student.
We have for you this evening our second foreign exchange student of the year. We're pleased to present to you Jera Huseller, who is a 16-year-old exchange student from Switzerland, who will be with us this year pending your approval. Jera is an accomplished tennis player with a passion for sports, travel, and cultural exchange. She describes herself as open-minded, cheerful, and eager to make new connections with the goal of improving her English and immersing herself in American school life. Her energy, athletic spirit, and commitment to learning will make her a wonderful addition to New Richmond High School.
Okay. All right, it is recommended the Board of Education approve the tuition-free attendance for the 25-26 school year of foreign exchange student Jera Huseller through Foreign Links Around the Globe International.
So moved.
Oh, that's all right. We'll do it in the story.
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. DePaul?
Yes.
Mrs. Story?
Yes.
Mr. Zerko?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Yes.
Communications report.
Okay, bear with me for a second because I have to record this so we can actually see it later. So I will be walking everyone through rooms tonight, both what the teachers see in their side of things as well as what the parents will see when they log in. Earlier today I created myself as a guardian, gave myself guardianship of myself, and I'm going to walk everyone through what that looks like as soon as I can figure out what QuickTime Player went. There it is. Pre-recording. Yeah, it's just the whole screen. You might want to turn around, it might be easier, yeah. So if you log in as an admin, this is what you see first. This is the campus management screen. One of the big keys for rooms is that admin in their buildings have access to every single message sent to every single person in rooms. So if I were to click on this half-block ELA class, if there were any messages sent, which I don't think there were, I can check this student, here's all of his guardians, I can view threads up here, and this is any messages if there were some. And this will be where those messages go. I don't quite know how this happened, but for some reason, someone managed to get a hold of me and send me a message on here. So this is what messages would look like if you do have them. This person was asking me how to find out where their child's teacher was. I don't know. But it came in a couple days before orientation, so I hope they figured it out. I wasn't expecting to get a message on here considering I don't have a classroom for you to send them to. Teachers can use these screens if we go here to view class to set up a lot of different things. So for instance, in this half-block ELA class, they also have the behavior tab. So, but in materials, they can upload things like class assignments, they can upload little notes and things like that. This also will link with Google Classroom, so if they're already using that, they can just keep uploading everything to Google Classroom and it'll sync over here. The behavior tab up here is for PBIS purposes. Students can be assigned points for things in here. I don't know if this class has points assigned yet or not. Doesn't seem like it. But you create individually what you want to give the points for and what you want the rewards to be, and you can assign them to the students from this screen. In the info tab here, you can post things like classroom rules and expectations, contact information for the teacher, when their office hours are, things like that. And in this settings tab here, there's really only one other thing that would show up for teachers, and that is if they have this behavior tab enabled, they can use this tab to play sounds when they give students points, or when they redeem rewards, or when they take away points, if they have that set up. And most times you wouldn't usually do that. This is where they would also link their Google Classroom. So that's what it looks like for teachers. If they wanted to make a classroom, all they would have to do is hit this little new button that pops up for them, give it a name, pick whatever building they're in. This building ID here is just a test building that we've used with Apogee. And then you can pick whatever color. The only difference with the color is it changes the little line at the top of the screen. And they can add their classroom down here. There's two ways that they can do this. So if you're a coach and you don't typically have your roster loaded into the progress book, you can go through and search by student name, and it'll pull up the students. You can also look at the rosters, and I'm a bad example for this because I have every single progress book roster in the district. So when someone asks me to help them with this, I usually can't. I have to tell them how to do it because they only have access to rosters that they are on. And if you have, for instance, multiple classes with the same name, you can click this little advisory 7 here. There's a see all button underneath the name, and it will show you who is in that class to help you figure out which class goes with which one they're building. So that's how the teachers can usually get those up. That will sync with progress book every night. So if a student adds or drops the class, it'll change that the next day. We've had a couple students move around already, and we've had those classes update for the teachers on that. So that's what it looks like for a parent, that's what it looks like for this. Now, if you want to get the app on your phone, you can, as soon as it loads. The app for parents and for our students will be the New Richmond Schools app. Teachers, this is the New Richmond Schools app here. Teachers need to use a different app, this one here, ThrillShare. That's where they log in using their New Richmond ID and email, and they have access to everything that they would need on the ThrillShare app. I can post to social media through here. If they have access to do that, they can as well. They can create news stories. I don't recommend that because nobody wants to type 1,000 words on your phone. And they can add events. Most of the time they don't need to do that because they just go on the Google Calendar anyway. Messages pop up here for students and for teachers as well. They can reply to them with their phone. They don't have to. They can use the browser if they don't want to use it on their phone. For students and for parents, you log in with these little buttons down here for rooms. So there's a continue to sign in button. Students is really simple. Sign in with your school Gmail account. That's it. Parents, there's a little bit more to it. You have to sign in with your phone number to start. that's associated with this. Hopefully this works. I haven't been able to test it yet because I can't log back out if I do. So that's my phone number, which I'm going to blur in the recording for obvious reasons. It will send me a code eventually that should pop up. And this is another thing that people have had issues with so far, is sometimes the code does not show up because it hasn't been drawing over the correct phone number from Progress Book. It's been pulling over work numbers, it's been pulling over home phone numbers that are landlines. And if it does that, there's really not much we can do. I have to go in there and change your Progress Book phone number on your account. I don't know why this didn't work. I set it up correctly. Let's try everything in Google. This one. Okay. You can also log in via Google, which I'm about to show. If that's not working. So I use the Gmail account that I set up for the account that I made. This is my fingerprint. My password was changed 3 months ago, it was. This is going great. I understand now why I'm getting so many emails. It's not even making it out, so there it goes. Come on. Typically, if I do get an email, it's for this part right here. They're either, or the other thing that it's doing right now that we're working through, I had a meeting with them today and they're correcting it, is giving people the wrong children. So if you have a work number that is the same as someone else's and it pulls that work number over, it's going to assume that those kids are yours too. So I've been pulling kids off of lists that aren't supposed to be there, putting them back on. It doesn't really take all that long to do. I just wish I didn't have to do it. I just closed out that on accident. My apologies. Hit the wrong button.
So you're going to support two MFA?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is what I was trying to do now.
Right on.
Yeah. It just didn't work.
It creates problems sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, when they get logged in eventually, they have to scroll through 9 billion words to get down the bottom of that and read the
Just
terms
read it
of
all.
use.
Then, just read it all.
I've read it.
Just to make you.
Not here. This is the 3rd time I've signed in. I understand it by now.
Right.
So you choose your primary language, you hit save, and then it will connect you to your class. Now, my fake student isn't in any fake classes, but if they were, the rooms would show up here, and the parents would have access to all the same information and announcements and things like that. The students would have, if I had given a message to myself, it would be over here in the app too. This is the same district app where you can see everything. These are all the posts that we've made to live feed. All of that stuff is here. The events tab is here. You can view the lunch menus here. It just doesn't know what lunch menu to show me because I didn't give myself a building. So that is rooms. Any other questions?
So in terms of user IDs and securities, like if I'm a parent and you're a parent, can we communicate? Or is it the structure limited to your child, your classroom, your teacher?
It depends on the type of message the teacher sends. There's 3 different kinds. They can do a direct message to a parent or a student where they can only reply to each other. They can do a group message where everyone in the group can reply. And then they can do a broadcast, which is a group message, but only the replies can only be sent to the teacher. So there's 3 different types that they can do. It just depends on which one they pick.
We certainly want parents to have information, but I guess worrying about text groups, I'm just going to call it a text group,
Right.
and replies to all, which in the business world is an issue, especially if it's an inappropriate reply. Just wondering how we're monitoring for that or trying to guard against it.
Yeah. They can only reply to the teachers or their student in those groups, unless it's a broadcast or unless it's a group message with reply. And I can't see a scenario where a teacher would send too many group messages. That is the broadcast. When you announce something like that, I can't imagine the kids need to reply to that. One of the things that it does is if you do post an announcement or something like that, it will show you how many people have seen it at the bottom. You can click on that and it'll tell you who has seen it and who hasn't.
I like.
So I can see that you've opened it,
Yes.
parent to parent.
No, just the teachers.
Okay, again, I'm just trying to think of those
I wasn't sure what
scenarios
role we
where-
were playing in that series.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
So you can probably see now why we are driving people to this platform. One, there's a safety and security element that we haven't had to this point. I do want to thank Garth. He had 40-some appointments a couple days ago across the high school and middle school, but also really working with our coaches. It was great to get in front of our coaches at the Sunday coaches meeting and talk about what our non-negotiables were for communication, and they are coming on board. Change is hard, especially a change of this magnitude. We understand the pain points for our families, but we'll continue to get better. And Garth has been extremely available to everyone. Works really hard in all the emails he gets, working through the problems. And the company is aware of some of our own internal struggles in terms of pulling the wrong data, and he takes the time and energy to work with them. And this is also the platform that we'll be using to send newsletters. So internally and externally, we can do that as well. And there's a level of, and again, it's another tool that we don't have to buy. And we'll get better, and they'll be a little more graphic over time, but there's one area now that we have that you can just, as a teacher, build a newsletter and move on.
That's great.
So, and I want to thank, just like the rest of the team, Garth has been truly out there making sure people have what they need to be successful.
So Garth, you're class to class, like you have like one semester or 1 quarter to 1 quarter, when it's a new class list or a new student coming into class. So putting that new person in the class, is that up to the teacher to do that?
No, it'll sync with progress book.
Okay.
All the class lists for
There you
next
go.
semester are already in there, actually.
Got it.
They just have to pick it. For our younger teachers, the teachers that teach the youngest kid, it's a lot easier to make a class because you only need to make one. But
Love
for
it.
high school teachers, especially if you coach, you could have a pretty decent amount. Yeah.
So
Good answer.
the nightly upload
Good answer.
at midnight every night when it pings the server, it updates.
Good answer. Good. Good stuff.
There's some fancy FTP
That's good stuff.
thing
No, yeah.
that happens. It's way above me.
They lose me in the meeting every time they start talking about it.
File transfer protocol.
There you go, FTP. It happens every night. That's what we do
That's good
because
stuff.
that's why there's usually a 24-hour lag if a new student comes to get them in to like a curricular program to something like this, because it has to hit the nightly uploads.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
This isn't directly related to the groups, but as Paul mentioned earlier, I started a staff shout out today. This is how that is picked, if you were curious. I have the complete district roster for contact information, and there are 299 of us. There are 299 members. Well, now there's 292 because 6 people have already done it and filled it out. I just spin it, and whoever it lands on has the honor of filling out the form. The reason I'm bringing this up is because as of now, the 5 of you are on this list. Do you want to be on this list? Because I can pull you off.
I don't need to be on there. Oh, come on, Todd.
Yeah.
Who's here?
I think we should be.
How about me? I don't
People
mind.
need to know us too.
We're all going to participate.
They can phone on.
Just
I
make
mean, you
sure that
leave
when
me
you
on
do
top, that's
this,
fine.
the first time it goes around, Todd's select.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Well, we've already started it. I am the only one I've had to respin was when it chose the same person 3 times.
Really?
Oh, well, that's true random.
Yeah.
That's like the drug test, right?
Yeah.
If you're curious, this is what the questionnaire looks like. It's just a Google form that I send out with you start
Really?
as part of your job, a random fact that might surprise people. And then to prevent all of them from being the same, I gave them a list of 10 questions to pick 2 from, and they answer those by themselves. We've got some pretty interesting answers so far. I'm looking forward to it. They come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Love it.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Great stuff.
Thanks, Garth.
Thank you.
I just had a question or clarification. We don't have a discussion on the agenda, so I don't want to break the rules. But does this require board action or a letter?
Yeah, all I need is just your guys' approval, and
Okay.
then I contact Hussey, sign, and
So you
set
need
up
minutes,
the-
correct? You
So
need board
I was
minutes?
chatting with him in text because I was wondering if we had Robert Rules of Order that will allow one of us to make a motion outside of the already approved agenda. Do we have that ability? Because I was going to do it tonight if we have that ability. I don't think so. Okay. I know my other rules of order that I do for Pee-wee, I can do that.
Well,
I can't do it here.
We'll try a letter because we're not involved in any changing of funds or anything. We'll try that.
Yeah.
If not, we'll get it on the
I was just thinking of time.
Yep. It'd be a little quicker. It'll be a little quicker.
You can do both, do a letter now or then.
Yeah, letter would be fine, as long as it had your 5
Yeah.
signatures on it.
I will draft it.
Yeah, we need more
Is that legal support of an initiative? Okay, just want to make sure.
As long as we just need your board approval for it.
At the next meeting. It's perfect. All right, I will draft the letter and get it to all of you for a signature.
Perfect, yeah. Let's do it.
Because I didn't want to wait until September.
Yeah. Very good.
And I got
There you go.
Kelly says the AC's not working.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
AC not working. Not good.
You better go.
Thanks.
We're done, Todd.
Todd.
Todd. All right, thank you, Todd. Todd.
You wanna do a motion of adjournment, or
So moved.
I'll second.
any questions about adjournment? Yeah.
I'd like to introduce Brett. Brett is here. this
Oh.
evening.
Nice to meet you guys.
Good job.
Thank you.
He had a big press release last week.
Did.
I was quicker than I expected.
Yeah.
I was like, people were texting me from the Batavia days, like, congratulations. I'm like, how do you know? So, like, I haven't seen it yet, so thank you. That was
Yep.
cool.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And, without further ado, our new superintendent leading our first board meeting tonight. Welcome
Didn't
aboard.
mess it up too bad.
Good job.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, you didn't mess it up at all.
Welcome aboard. Motion.
Seems so.
We have motions, right? Here, I have one motion.
We need a vote.
Amy had a motion. Oh, we had two?
Yeah, we're done with discussion right now, so we're good.
We had two? Oh.
We can,
David and, Tim.
Tim. Okay. Let's go.
roll call.
All right, Mr. Fall.
Yep.
Mrs. Story.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Mr. Wells.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
This is all going on.
Okay.